Okay, let's look at requirements. It accidentally hit the meeting controls. Somebody said something. Yeah. Okay, let's start. The first thing that we'll be solving is airports B2 version 1. So we'll put it on this side and we'll put our solution on this side. And we'll delete everything. So it says we have to start with the package aviation.v1. So let's put the, and in that we'll put the class airport. Okay, and then in the class airport, the fields name, city, runways, and time. Now notice one thing, it says city is an enumerated type, which means it's an enum. So first we'll have to make the city type before coming back to the main one. So we go to city type and it says defining enum city. Now define the city enum class to represent the city. Define it as class airport static nested class. So here we have the type of nesting. It says we have to define it as airport static nested class. So we, okay. So we'll tab, we'll enter and we'll go static nested class. Private, static, enum, and it's city, right? City, and we'll have the following values. City, Zurich, London, Istanbul, Barcelona. And it says represents Zurich, represents London, represents Istanbul, represents Barcelona. So I have a feeling we'll need to put in the values as well. Let's see. You know what? I'll just check the solution real quick to confirm it. Therefore, V1. Okay, they're not putting in the values. Okay, then neither way. And I noticed something is that instead of private static enum city, they just put public. So we'll put public as well. Okay, so now we have this and we have the values. So we're going to go here and we'll start creating the fields. And like I said in the B1 topic, before creating the fields, you have to read about them. Okay, first construct your parameters all fields, parameters except runways, default CSV. Guarantee that the fields are non-visible, which means all the fields are private. And name and city will be final. And yeah, that's it. So we'll start making them. Name and city are read-only, all of them are private. So private, final, name, that's name. City are also read-only. So private, final, city, city. runways, private, in runways, and then time in private in time. So we have the fields. Then define a constructor that has the parameters for all the fields. Constructor. By the way, I have the interface hidden. So if anybody has any questions, it's better if you send a message in the HLPL2 group. Okay, so has parameters for all the fields. Okay, all the fields. There you go. Find constructor that has parameters for all the fields except runways. Okay, all the fields except runways. Define a constructor that accepts the full CSV line as a string and manages the tokenization and parsing. Okay, so this one takes a string CSV line and it manages the tokenizing and parsing. So we have to check in what format will be given a line. So each line of the standard input and output represents a record in the following format. Name, city, runways, time. So we'll start. I'll just type it here. It's easier for reference. It goes like name, city, runways, time. So now we go back. Okay, so to parse it, we just create a string array. We just get it tokens, and we break down the CSV line into pieces based on semicolon. Okay, so we are guaranteed to have name, city, runways, time. So name is just a string. So we go this dot name is equal to tokens, the first value in tokens. City is a value of enumerated type city. So for that, we use the dot value of method. So this dot city is equal to city dot value of and the second value in tokens. One. Okay, the second value in tokens. That should convert this to a city enum type. Now, if you don't get what this is, I recommend going to the last video where I explain dot value of and how it works. Then the third one is runways, which is integer. So when we have integers, we need to parse it. So this dot runways is equal to, I think, parse. Okay, integer dot parsing. And we pass in tokens, value number 3, time. And again, time is an integer, so we'll have to parse it because tokens are in string format. And we pass in the fourth value. So that's it. That's all the initialization done. Guarantee that the fields are non-visible. Yep, they're all private. Make the name and city fields read-only. Yeah, that's done. Define getter methods for all the fields and setter methods for modifiable fields. Okay, getters and setters. Select all. Done. Override the inherited toString method to return the expected string representation. So the expected string representation, it says below that this is for both the input and the output, which means this is the expected string representation when they talk about it. So we just override toString. And so we're supposed to return this. Return this dot name plus semicolon plus this dot city plus semicolon plus this dot runways plus semicolon plus this dot time. And yeah, that's it. Equals and hash code methods to ensure that two instances are equal if and only if their name and city fields are the same. So Alt insert equals and hash code if and only if their name and city are equal. So we deselect runways and time, and that's it. Now we have the equals and hash code done. Define the natural order of the instances by implementing the comparable interface. Number of runways descending, transfer time ascending, descending, name ascending. So, good old airport implements comparable, compares airports and implement a method. Yep. We did. Okay, compare to. For some reason, it put the compare to all the way here instead of at the bottom. And I'm too lazy to bring it where it needs to be. So, what is the criteria? Runways descending, time is descending, name is ascending. Okay, so we can start with runways. First, we check if this dot. Oh yeah, Prakash told me I forgot some of the constructors. All right. Yeah, I was in too much of a hurry, I guess. Yeah, there's more constructors that need to be done. There's airport, CSV line. Okay, the second one is the one I forgot, right? No. For this one, I forgot to initialize the default runways because this doesn't take runways. So I have to put the default value, which is this dot runways is equal to 1. All right, thank you, Prakash. I I overlooked this. Would have caused us to fail. Airport. Okay, comparing. If this dot runways is not equal to O dot runways, then we return integer dot compare this dot runways O dot runways. And since it's descending, just put a minus at the start. Okay. Next is time, which is also an integer. So I guess I'll just do this. This. Turnaround supposed to do. Okay. If this dot time is not equal to O dot time, then return integers that compare this dot time, O dot time. Descending, yeah, it's already minus. Okay, name is a string. And also it's the default criteria because it's at the last. So we'll just do return this dot name dot compare to O dot name. And yeah, that's it. And that's our compare to. So the airport class is done. Enum class is also done for V1. Now defining the class airport comparator. Define a class that is capable of comparing two airport instances implementing the comparator interface. You can choose between the following options. So as I remember in the tests, you're only supposed to have one class that includes the main function as well. So I would say the easiest thing to do is just define it as a top level. Anything else is first, the easiest is top level. Second easiest, in my opinion, is anonymous. But yeah, top level is good. So top level just means we go all the way at the end under the, where the closing bracket ends. We can just go here. Well, we create a new class, which it cannot be public. So class airport comparator implements, comparator compares what? Airports. It asks us to implement the methods. Sure. Okay, now what is the order for this? We write the order first and foremost. Okay. Time, descending, runways, descending. Oh, it's the same, isn't it? Time descending, runways descending. Okay, it's just time and runways is they switch places. But keep this in mind, they will ask you to implement both the comparator and the comparative, and they will ask you to sort it using alternate order. Alternate means the comparator's order because it's different from the comparative. So name ascending. So we have time descending, same old stuff. O1. You know what? In fact, let me just copy paste this comparative because you guys already know how to do it at this point. Just beating a dead horse. So the only difference is instead of this dot runways, well, first let me copy this and take it above. Okay, we take it above. So time descending, runways descending, name ascending, which is what they want. Then what we have to change is this becomes O1. Yeah, I think I can just Control F. No, it's too complicated. I'll just do it manually. Okay, this becomes O1, and yeah, they're right. We have to replace it with getter, but let's do this first. This becomes O1, O becomes O2 because we're comparing O1 and O2. This again, O1, O2, O1, 2, O1, O2. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay, let me try to finish it as fast as possible. Okay, now this, because time and runways and stuff, it's private, we'll just have to replace it with getters, like so. Getter, 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 getter. If anybody has a question about this part, just let me know. But yeah, getter is just because it's private. I think everybody gets it. So that's the comparator done. And now define this as the top level one in your original source code. Yep, it's here. The getter and well, not the getter. This comparator class. Now the test class. Define the class test in the same package to contain the main method. Okay. They want it in the same package, right? So you can have test here. I think in the exam there it will be different. We'll have to put the test class in the airport class. Whew. Right, let's go. Test. You read the airport records from the standard input in CSV format using the delimiter semicolon. Standard input contains at most 125 records. The end of the input is denoted by end of file. Each of the standard input and output represents a record. Read and store all the records in the suitable array. Sort the array using natural order and method arrays.sort and print the sorted records to the standard output. Print an empty line and then sort it in alternate order and method arrays.sort and print the sorted records to the standard output. So I have a feeling this test, they're going to have two different input fields, and we'll have to copy and paste the airport class in one and the test.java class in the second. But anyway, this seems easy to do. This part is it's a pain, and I don't really need to repeat it because everybody's done it 1,000 times. I'll just copy it from the solution, the true developer way. If you can copy something, just copy something. So the scanner, they create a new scanner. They create an array of airports, 125. Solution, if you want the solution, uh, okay, so if you want the solution, I'll tell you guys real quick. Not the solution, then what do you want? Okay, if you want this, what I'm going to copy paste, it's you go to B2 and you see this codes, project B2. Just download this. That's literally all you need. And then you can open it in IntelliJ IDEA. And Prakash, this is recorded, so you can just watch it and come to this time. This is like 6 minutes from the end, and you can just check what I'm copy pasting. So we create an array of airport types. It's 125 big length, has next line, all that. It's same old, same old. And here we use natural order. We sort it. We put them all in an array, then we sort it. Natural order means the order that is described in the airport class here in compare to. This is natural order. So if you don't specify a comparator, it will sort it by natural order. So we can just copy paste this. Also, hold on. So what do we name the file? Test or airport? If you look at the requirements, yeah, it is first defining the class airport. So you create an airport class. I have a feeling this test will have two different input. The last one only had one input box, and you had to copy the whole class in there. But this one, they're asking us to create two classes. So I think they're gonna have two input boxes for each, for the airport and the test class. If they don't, they will tell you to put everything in one class. In this case, it tells you define class airport in the package aviation v1, and it's there. Then they tell you define enum city that's supposed to be inside airport as a static nested class. Okay, I messed up here. No, I didn't. The enum is there as a static nested class. So defining class airport comparator, it's also inside airport, but here it says test in the same package to contain the main, in the same package to contain the main method. So now it says this class test will be in the same package aviation, which means it's not in the same class. So we have it here in aviation v1, and this has the main method. Uh, okay, wait, I didn't create the main method. No, it works. So yeah, does that answer your question? Yeah, that was for the first feedback test. Let me see the announcement for the second feedback test. Tanishq, you're asking about package visibility. If you don't have any keyword like public or private, it's package private. Like that's default. Is the default visibility in Java. Okay, here it is a single source code. If it says a single source code, then you probably don't have to create two classes. Right now, in this example, it requires us to create a different class. But in your case, if it doesn't, then you will probably put the main method somewhere in the airport class, or you can create a nested class. Just give it a try when you're practicing and let me know how it goes. But I think most likely, if it has to be only one class, then they will tell you to put the main method in airport, just like the previous test. Okay, so in this case, let's just give it a shot. Actually, no, I don't want to write the whole input in. Let me see if they have some. Oh, yeah, they have standard input. Hell yeah. Huh? So they're giving this syllabus is till B2. Yes, it is still B2 for everyone. Unfortunately, Professor the robot was sick that day and he couldn't show up, so he couldn't teach the stuff, file handling and error handling. So now it's until B2. Everybody got an email. Okay, so here they're saying like, yeah, that thing is that's fortunate, but also unfortunate. It's a double-edged sword. It's lucky because you won't have to deal with that stuff now, but that also means I think you won't have the opportunity to remove that from the final exam because you did well in the feedback test. So keep that in mind. Okay, now the meeting's going to end. I'll continue explaining from the next video.